Hello, welcome back, happy Saturday. Today, as of this very moment, we are 6 weekends away from Duct Tape Drags and I don't have anything ready to go. So today is Duct Tape Drags prep. And I'm bringing this guy. It's hot again, but things are going to snowball real quickly. Oh boy, are they. Allow me to hide in the shade for a quick second. It's my 57 Chevy panel truck. I pulled it out of a field a long time ago. I put it on Hot Rod Garage where they put in a 383 and a 4L60 and suspension and brakes and all that kind of stuff. It's a good running, driving truck, except that I broke the 383 and put in a 350. I'll get an insert of that later. But yeah, it's still a good running and driving truck, except that it overheats all of the time now, which is super annoying. Last thing I want to do is replace the head gasket on this episode, because that's not going to happen. If this motor blows, this episode's over. I'm saying that right now. I ain't got time. I'm not going to fix that today, because the fix for that is an electric fan that I own. And an electric fan is going to require a little bit more than just an electric fan. So 57 Chevy trucks came with fuse boxes as an option. Optional fuse box. Great. So I don't have a fuse box. I don't necessarily trust the electrical load of an electric fan on this current existing wiring system, especially without a fuse box. So the fan is going to necessitate a rewire. Now I have a kit. It is a American Auto Wire kit. I've used them before. They're great. But to put in a whole wiring kit is it's a lot of work. It's a big pain. But also, if I'm going to do all of that, I'm really going to want to clean up the inside firewall and the floor before I put a whole bunch of new nice stuff in the way and I get overspray on it when I do it later. So before I can put in the fan, I need to rewire. Before I rewire, I need to clean up the floor and paint the floor and the footwell. And while I'm doing that, I might as well clean up the dash and put a wipe-on clear on the dash. So the Snowball Effect is real. Fan necessitates wires, which necessitates scrubbing, which necessitates paint and removing seats and maybe even pulling the dash panel. I don't really honestly know, but I've got gauges for it too, so I got a whole new gauge set that's going to go in, all because it's overheating. Snowballs in the desert. I guess let's just do this. It's hot as hell. It's like 90 something already. I don't like it, but here we are. That was a long crouch. I had no idea the seat was even adjustable.
Yeah.
All right, It's about noon. Yeah, it's about noon 30, and I'm already this sweaty, and I've accomplished getting seats out, so that's really good. I'm actually quite glad that they are out. I've really wanted to clean up under there for a long time. It's pretty nasty. A lot of just, I don't know, dust and seat particulate and a little bit of corrosion that needs to get cleaned up, and it's for the best. I'm also being reminded really rapidly how much this truck used to smell of rat poo and cat pee. So I'm sort of inclined to get these seats recovered while they're out, but I don't know. Chances are slim. What else? Driver's seat slides, that's pretty cool. I had no idea that it had a slider on it. And, oh, I can also put the passenger side new seatbelts in. Got them on the driver, but my passenger has been living in peril for a long time. And, yeah, I'm gonna start cleaning this up, Scotch brighten it, give it a quick coat of paint, and figure out how far forward in the footwell I want to go, because there's stuff in the way. Not a ton of stuff, but some stuff. I should probably just pull it. I don't feel like today is getting into too much electricity. But got 6 weekends. 6 weekends to get to Duct Tape Drags. I still have the duster I could take, but we'll get to that in a little bit. We will discuss duster in just a little bit. All right, I need to cool off for a minute. I'll be back. Beep, 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 beep. Quick question. So is this asbestos? Technique's never been a strong suit of mine. Also, these heater boxes, squeaky, and also, oh, check this out. Yeah, I love old stuff from old owners. Anyway, this is gonna come out because it squeaks a lot, and the heater element inside of it. I got questions on it. Maybe some of you can answer it. We'll get to that in a little bit. Seatbelt bolt, light pain. It's a fuel tank. That's it right there. Let's see if that holds. Positive tension must maintain. Fuck. All right, nuisances. Yeah, nuisance. Or let's just shear that head off. I don't have a doohickey for that. Wow, that's awesome actually. How cool is this bolt head? It tells you that it's a 5/16 bolt. I like that. Bornham, something like that. All right, we're gonna move over to the easier one. Wide open spaces. Ta-da! That'll catch on something, right? All right. Oh no. Of course. Of course I did. Dummy. Fixed. All right. Status update. I'm on the ground. Can't get the seatbelt bolts out. I'm going to clean up those threads and lubricate those. I'm also going to do the same with these panel bolts here. I just realized that this whole panel comes out. Those bolts I was pointing to are for these brackets that are the hinges for this fold forward seat. Now, this whole panel will remove, and I think I would like to do that so I can clean up underneath here as well. So, yeah, pain. So I'm gonna have to go through this eventually to get this whole panel up, but yeah, I'm just gonna soak some stuff. And I'm going to scrub some stuff. And I'm going to hopefully let some penetrant work its magic. If not, I will get the heat out. But you know, there's a fuel tank down there, so less inclined. Less inclined. All right, so I'm gonna say this just in case I, I'm gonna say this just in case I quit today and pick up tomorrow. I took a bunch of breaks today. Like I've said probably thrice or force today, it's hot. I got some seats out, got some stuff cleaned up a bit. All in all, pleased with progress, displeased with sweat. The floors actually look pretty good. There's some rot in that step over there. Really, that's the extent of it. I'm going to wire brush, just hand wire brush, knock any loose stuff down and off. Any of the surface rust up here. There's a bit here on the floor. There's a little bit over here on the corners, and just sort of like underneath the seats, anywhere that just kind of had moisture setting. But there's a lot of very good, fresh, original paint still on this floor. So it's really in good condition. I'm gonna try to leave as much of this sort of like silvery, whatever factory color that is on the firewall. I don't want to paint all that black. If any of that is visible beyond the floor mat and the firewall insulation, I want to be able to see that. I want this to continue looking as raggedy as it does. So I'm gonna paint as little as possible, but just to protect it. And then I think the firewall insulation should be in. It's not delivered yet. I'm gonna put that up, and then I'm going to mount the fuse box and start getting that under dash wiring stuff going. How far we're gonna get in this episode is gonna kind of depend on that, but I got more to do. But immediately the thing to do is cool it. I'm gonna go cool it. Bye. Now you can all be jealous of my battery hold down if you want to, but I'm pulling the battery because I have a question for any of you guys who happen to know this 57, 55 to 59 task force truck thing. The question is this: I'm about to pull out, oh, that's loose enough. I'm about to pull out the heater core from the heater box on the inside. Now that is one of the square boxes. I think there might be a couple of different styles. But my question is this: the heater core, when it comes through the firewall, goes just directly into the back of the battery. So there's like no room to hook hoses to it. I'm looking for a 90 or something else that I can feed a heater hose to, because I would like to run a heater on this. I have pressure tested that heater core and it works fine. But I have looked at the part catalogs and I can't find anything that solves the problem of this, which is these guys here are the two outlets for the heater core, and they just go directly into the back of this, you know, tray, this battery tray. So that's clearly less than ideal, but I don't know what to do about that. I believe it's a factory replacement battery tray for this year truck, and I could be wrong, but I don't think that I am. It'll bolt holes together. We don't have to alter anything to make it fit. So I don't know if there's an elbow or if there's something, but I can't find it in catalogs. Tell me, why won't hoses fit? What is my solution? Help. So these heater boxes, or heater cores rather, come out very simply. It's 4 screws, and the only reason that I'm pulling it is so that I can pull the box, and the reason I'm pulling the box is so that I can get the rest of that firewall insulation out, because I'm sort of in this mode where, like, I like this truck a lot, and if I'm going to do something to it, I might as well do it well. So yeah, it's all coming out. My TV car inclination is just to get it done, make it start, make it run, shoot the payoff. But I'm retraining my brain away from that stuff and going back to the way that I was taught to work on cars, which was do it once and do it right. So here we are, doing the annoying stuff. Soaking bolts to get them out. Old insurance card from previous owners. I just love this old stuff. I think it's so cool. I don't know what year this is from, but it's from before they put area codes on everything. Keeping it. That stays. Here's the heater core in its simplicity. As simple as it is. That's the heater core. Just slides right out. Now we've got stud. I don't know if this blower motor is any good, but hey buddy, come on up. Come here. Remember Sam? None of you have picked him up yet. Why? Why not? He's available both for adoption. Thank you very much. As well as for fostering. If you just want to hang on to him for a little while and like pal around with this cute little pupperoonie, all you got to do is ask. I will gladly send you somewhere else, won't I? Won't I? Yes, I will. Okay, bye. He didn't like that. Who'd have thought? Bye. You coming back? Jerk. All right, bolts out, thing out. Moving on. Hey, look who's back. It's you. You want to come in now? Oh, yeah, come on up. Come here. He's a car dog. Come here. Come here. Be cute. Come up. You know, car dog. He's now underneath car. Oh, hey, you're right there. Look at you. Don't eat that. It's not for you. This has been your Dog Minute, brought to you by this dog. His name is Sam. Thanks. Yep. He will kiss you as much as you'll let him. Okay, go away now. Go away now. Got stuff to do. Poo. .12 volt 12 volt. Something 77. All right, quick test. Let's see if a blower motor works. Got a motor here. Got a battery here. Seems like that's obviously power. And that little dude there, right there, is probably ground. Just, you know, ground to the body via the housing. Oh, let's just clip the housing. Probably makes just as much sense as anything. Bad ground, bad ground. What about freshly sheared bolt? Magic. All right, I'm gonna clean that because that works. Not clean, but cleaner. Good enough for now, ish. All right, I got a few more things to get off of this floor before I go and rust scrape it. Screw, wing nut on a bolt, and then all those other floor things I was messing with earlier. I'm working on these because I don't feel like getting back underneath and whatever. Side note, these screws are this like, it's an old kind of head. You can't see that very well. Can you see that well? Yeah. So it's, I don't know, I like these a lot. I think they're cool. It is not a flat, but it takes a flat, and that's for tightening and that's for loosening. There's like a separate side for each. I don't know what they're called. I don't know why they are the way that they are, but I find them to be cool. And I know a lot of guys hate them. Now, I think a lot of those guys that hate them are Midwest and or snowy salt on the road folks, and I think I might be about to learn why a lot of guys hate them. Maybe. So I've got these having soaked for a few minutes, maybe like an hour on bolt breaker. They feel still quite stuck. So quick tap on each of them, and maybe that'll be enough. I'm gonna do somebody's tip of go tight first to break them loose. Not here. Nope. 2. It's not a leverage thing. I've got plenty of grip. And also, I don't want to break another screwdriver tip. So back to heat. I still haven't found any of that Coroil stuff. I stopped looking also because, you know, I never run into broken bolts or stuck bolts ever. That might do something. It also might not. Hold your breath. Success coming soon. Okay, that's good enough to start. No. Also, no. I feel like I'm deforming that double slotted butterfly head thing. I'm gonna let those sit. Rework this, and I will come back to you when I come back to these, or those, or something else. Should have seen that coming. I may or may not have just attacked these from the bottom with heat without showing you. We're gonna say that I didn't. Magic. You know, I really just didn't think it was gonna work. They were feeling very stuck. So I was like, why waste the time and the effort of putting the camera down there if it's not gonna work? Always, always be filming. Come on, Come on. You're right there. You're right there. Peachy. Tip's still mostly good. Ugh. Mostly good. It's starting to roll over. But it's the only screwdriver I have with the tip small enough to fit inside this head. Yeah, that tip is twisting. All right, well, so I might get to wait till tomorrow. There might be a stay of execution because this tip is twisting. See if I can straighten it. Nope, I broke it. I just broke it instead. All right, that is two 1992 vintage Craftsman screwdrivers I've broken with too much leverage, so be warned. Okay, it is evening 2. It's only, I don't know, 6:45, 7. It's down to 90, so better day for working. Yesterday got a bunch of stuff out. I didn't get that much stuff out though. Stuck bolts, stuck bolts, stuck bolts, stuck bolts, and then this subfloor slash, I don't know, maybe it's a super floor, I guess, because that's on top. I want to get this false floor out of here so that I can clean everything and maybe get a layer of paint on it. I don't know, I bought some rust converter spray paint from Harbor Freight, and I'm just gonna knock off the loose stuff, clean it up. I'm gonna CLR it because CLR should remove rust very simply, and it's gonna be a good test bed for potentially removing rust in other places on this truck. There's plenty of this. That's tonight. We'll see what happens. Thanks. First thing I'm going to try to do today is get these seatbelts out. Now, I've already replaced the driver's side seatbelts a long time ago because I care about my safety more than my passenger safety. They were kind of a bear to get out yesterday. And if I can get this out without breaking it, I'm going to show you why I think this is a very cool bolt. I'm oddly attached to old stuff, but it's a cool bolt, and also these seatbelt anchors are honestly super cool. And I kind of wish that I hadn't already drilled the other side with these later model lap belts because I realized that I could have just re-webbed into these old cool anchor ones and I don't know, been a cooler dude. So here's to being a dork and having later stuff. Oh, I lost it. No. What happened? What happened? This bolt's gonna break. It's the only way forward is a broken bolt. And busted knuckles. Definitely busted knuckles. Sentimentality over a bolt I'm never gonna use again is over. Goodbye. My super sweet bolt head that says 5/16 on it. See, but isn't that a bummer? Like, this was so cool. It says 5/16 on it, but now it's dead. Crisis averted. It is double floored. It does make sense to take this out. I do still think this is removable. Taking out that seatbelt hole let me know that there is this panel and another panel underneath. So this is it's a false floor, and I want it out so I can clean it up and back. All right. Wonderful. What? No. Oh, what a bummer. All right, that's a suck. That seat pivot bracket to fold it forward up into the dash just broke from vibrations. I probably should have released this bolt first, which I know to be loose already. That's a bummer. That would be a hard replace, but I get the feeling that's just going to be a welded back together with my excellent welding skills. All right, let's see if I can not break the other side. One. Oh no, it was already broken. Okay, I mean that's less good, but less concerning. So in new news, that broken bracket that I just broke also had a broken bracket counterpart. They were already broken. At least I didn't do it. There's that. But yeah, 2 need to be repaired. So it goes. So it goes. All right, we're gonna try something super meta. I've been doing a lot of wrenches being held in place by something, right? I don't have anything to hold this one in place except this super sweet GoPro magnet mount. That might actually just do it. If I can support it. Oh, it's gonna film itself too. Amazing. Amazing. All right, it's DCAM's time to shine. Wrench holding, wrench being backed, GoPro filming, wrench doing its own job. It didn't do it, did it? Nope. All right. Maybe you need just a little bit of weight. Now that's gonna do it for sure. For sure. Golly. All right, that's absolutely gonna do it. I've got the channel locks scissored over the wrench. Sledgehammer weight on both the scissor and the wrench. I've got the screwdriver as a lock pin between the box end of the wrench and the adjustability on the plier. See, lock pin. And I've got some supports underneath and some general weights around, but that's doing it. Right now. Simple. Easy peasy. Basically did it my first try. So once I get this last bracket out, once I get this last bracket bolt out and that seatbelt bolt, there's just these 4 little Phillips heads that are definitely going to want to soak for a bit. They seem very happy in their homes. Okay, these bolts are going to soak overnight to these little screws, and then tomorrow morning, maybe tomorrow night, we'll see. But tomorrow, we'll find out what's under the secret compartment. Good night, happy Saturday again. I'll see you in a few seconds. 3, 2, 1. Happy Saturday again. Saturday 3. All right, quick hit list for this morning, which will give me something to just layer images over so we can all get through this way faster. I need to drill a couple of holes, larger holes for the seatbelt bolts for the new replacement seatbelts. 1/2 inch. Okay, number 2. See, there is a subfloor under this floor. All right, done. I need to remove that last weird flat head screw that is holding in the bracket that holds the tire iron into place. This has really honestly changed my life, this whole socket on a screwdriver thing. and also get out that broken stud that the wing nut was on the other night and is no longer on. Hold your breath. All right. Now, can somebody tell me how to fix this? Because my only thought is this. Sort of works. I need to remove those 4 Phillips screws that are holding on the false floor. I probably need to pick out the heads of those and probably also heat them so I don't break those. I like that crackling sound. That feels like it's doing something. There we go. Little by little. Baby turns. His head's gonna come off. Watch. Ha! Told ya. And then hopefully by the time I'm done saying all of these words, all of those pictures will also be done. I really just want to get this thing CLR'd and cleaned up before I clock out for my hot lunch break, so that it can dry in the day, and then I can go and get some paint on tonight. And then maybe start looking at wiring stuff. We'll see. That might be next week. I don't know. Let's see. All right, now for the big reveal of whether or not this panel actually removes or not. Okay, actually a question before we remove this panel. This is the question for anyone with experience on these 55 to 59 Task Force Chevy trucks. Is this a thing in a pickup truck, or probably a Suburban, I would guess? My assumption is that this false floor only lives in this panel truck because this passenger seat folds forward and it's sort of just like a flat step. I really don't know what else that's for, because it doesn't really do anything unless you're smuggling things across borders, in which case it's not going to hold very much stuff. Yeah, does this exist in pickup trucks? Does it exist in Suburbans? That's it. That's my question. Let's see if it comes up. Lots of broken bolts here. Okay. If this thing doesn't come up, I'm gonna be very annoyed. Oh God. Oh my God. Why are there bolts and screws if it doesn't remove? And is it just spot welded? It doesn't make any sense. Is it just corroded into place? Because that would make me feel okay. Sometimes you just do too much for the sake of doing too much, I guess. Oh, this is so stupid. This is literally like half a day. I don't see any spot welds either, though. Right. It's spot welded into place. It's got to be. I don't see any spots, but... All right, I think this is why we do our research, to save entire halves of days. Now that I've got all these screws out, I'm gonna go do some research and see if this is a removable panel. Listen, anything will remove if you try hard enough, but am I willing to try harder than broken bolts? Probably not. It doesn't seem like it's spot welded anywhere. It could honestly be corroded into place, but it's not prying up easily, I can tell you that. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go ask the internet. Dear Internet, WTF. So here's the deal. I've scoured the internet. Nobody seems to have ever seen this panel before, in a panel or otherwise. I found an assembly manual. I looked at all the panel pages. I looked at all the cab and floor assembly pages. It doesn't seem to exist there either. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to finish pulling out the last couple of stuck bolts and broken studs. I'm going to clean the hell out of the thing, and hopefully that's going to release whatever's holding it in place and or show the spot welds that are there. If it is spot welded, it's just getting painted. I'll shove a nozzle underneath one of those holes and just fog inside of there, but I'm not pulling it if it's spot welded. I would like to continue moving forward, and so far that hasn't really happened yet. So let's just be done, and I can clean, and then I can wait, and then I can paint. It'll be cool. Bye. All right, finally, we are on to stage 2. This is going to be the clean and paint portion of the electric fan install. We're not getting to electric fan today. I have the finest scuffing pads, the least abrasive scuffing pads I could find. I've got some soapy water to get up any of the oil residue from the PV blaster or the bolt breaker, or the oil that has been dripping off of my oil gauge since that oil gauge was installed. So there's a bunch of residue to get up so that paint will adhere. I also am going to remove as much rust as I can without getting super aggressive with a wire wheel. I'm going to use, again, scuffing pads, maybe a hand wire brush. And while I would usually use vinegar to remove light rust, I'm going to use CLR today because it also removes rust, and it contains a surfactant, which is like the bubbles in your soap. It lifts debris and stuff off of the surface, so it'll be a little bit easier to rinse all that garbage away. I will also be using the scrubbing pads with that, maybe the wire brush, light hand wire brush. Then I'm going to let it sit out in the sun. It is going to dry for much of the day after a good thorough hosing down to get everything out of there, get all the chemical residue out of there, and hit it with some Rust-Oleum rust reformer to take any of that remaining rust and convert it into not rust. I will then go pick up a hard enamel paint over this and call it good, and yeah, it'll be great. It'll be a good time. That's honestly probably going to be it for the day, or for the episode. No wires were touched. But honestly, that's a good thing. I can still drive the car. I did kind of want to get it down to the local radiator shop and have them do a proper flush on the radiator and cooling system. Just to be sure. Like, if I don't have to put an electric fan in there, I still don't want to. It still needs a rewire regardless, but like, I don't know. I'm an all mechanical guy on this truck. I want to keep it as simple as possible, despite already having a computer for the transmission. That's enough rambling about stuff that is not important, other than for me to escape continued heat. So, back to it. Back to it. Okay, so while the interior of that truck dries out, I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment on what finish I want to put on the dashboard. Now, I'm also going to CLR the dash just like I'm doing to the rest of the floor because there's just a little bit of surface rust on it. I want to clean it up and I want to give it a little bit of a contrast finish to the rest of the interior. Now, I don't want a full gloss because a full gloss is going to, I don't know, glare a lot, and I'm not super into that. So I have a couple of contenders, one of them being Sweet Patina, which I do believe dries to a gloss. It's a wipe-on clear coat that dries to a gloss, but if you buff it a little bit afterward, it should matte down. The other contender is the Rust-Oleum Satin Clear Enamel. Spray on, obviously, it should be satin, it should be clear. I also have coming soon, I have Poppy's Patina on order, which should also dry to a gloss. It's in a much larger quantity because I'm planning on doing the Minivan with a wipe-on clear. I'm gonna detail the hell out of that thing and give it a beautiful shine once again. Neither here nor there, these are our contenders for today. Sweet Patina versus Rust-Oleum spray on. Now I'm going to use the trans tunnel inspection cover takeoff plate as my sample because I'm never going to see it again. It is mostly clean. There's still some grease and grime on here, but it's going to be enough to show me a finish. And once I put the floor mat down, I'm not going to be able to tell that it's multiple finishes of gloss or satin or whatever. So, you know what I really should do? I should CLR this too. No, I shouldn't. The other thing to mention is the CLR I showed you before was the mold and mildew. I don't know if that's wrong, but I know that it's not the most right. So I went and found regular CLR, which is just calcium, lime, rust. Calcium, right? Yeah, calcium, lime, rust. It gets stuff gone. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some clears on here as testers, but whether or not I get to actually putting a clear on the dash today is very TBD. There's a strong chance that I will not have cleared it by the time you see this episode. So if you have any other recommendations on what to spray or wipe on to give a little bit of a luster, but not a total glary gloss, please let me know. If that's Poppy's, I got it coming. If that's boiled linseed oil, it's easy to get. So open to suggestions, just trying a couple things for now. Spray on clear, Sweet Patina with a little buff, just to see how matte looks. All right, spray first. Ta-da! Look, it's shinier. Much shinier. Okay, we've got a spray on Rust-Oleum clear. And I know that Sweet Patina wants gloves. Frankly, I want gloves. Okay, so here's the basic directions. Wash your car, remove grit, grime, and oxidation. Make sure it's dry. Apply patina sauce to clean microfiber. Wipe on surface. Allow cure time of 15 to 20 minutes. Use a new or clean microfiber towel to wipe off patina sauce to achieve desired matte finish. Repeat steps 4 through 6 to achieve desired finish. Seems pretty simple. I'm going to use some, not a ton, but definitely some. Kind of smells good. It's like a cherry something, maybe. That seems like it. And I'll be back in 15 minutes. I did a little more thorough reading. All right, I did a little more thorough reading of the patina sauce can, and it applies as a satin. If you want it to go to a matte is when you wipe it or sort of buff it with a clean microfiber. So I'm going to leave this middle satin. I'm actually going to give it another coat of satin. And then on this far right side here, I'm going to actually give it the buff right now to get it to that matte finish so we can do a solid comparison. But the other thing that I was reading that makes this sort of a moot point is the patina sauce will, if I'm ever so inclined, wipe off with a degreaser. So if I'm unhappy with the sheen of, say, the Rust-Oleum, it's going to be a little bit more than just a degreaser to get that sheen off and on a dash. I don't feel like dealing with that. I think no matter what these finishes are, as long as this is a good, reasonable satin, winner. Okay, see, I didn't clean it that well. That's still pretty dirty. So for science sake, I'm just gonna do this half with a second coat. See if you can even tell. And just in case we can't tell, 1, 2. Okay, as much as I don't want to do this, this panel does not remove. Well, I take that back. This panel does not remove without more work than I'm willing to give it. So I feel irresponsible if I just don't address it underneath at all. So I am just gonna stick something down there, loosen up whatever surface rust is down there, and just fog it the best I can from this little side port here. And I guess we're just gonna call that the best we can do. Oh, I also want to get this one screw body out. I don't have any extractors, and I'm not gonna weld a nut onto that, and I don't know what else to do. So if somebody else knows better, yell at me in the comments. The fact of the matter is I should just finish cleaning this up with CLR, dry it, paint it, and deal with it later. But I know that I won't deal with it later, so I'm going to force myself to deal with it now. I don't know, I'm just gonna clean it out as best here as I can through this little access hole, maybe a bit through these seatbelt bolt holes, and then just, you know, spray it in, fog it as best I can, and I don't know, hope that's enough for as long as this truck lasts otherwise. Now, in order to achieve said under false floor scrubbing, we're devising a very simple tool, which is fuel line, scouring pad, zip ties. Now, part of this plan is hoping that the scouring pad does not fall off underneath said false floor, but that is the job of the zip tie. And if that fails, not my fault, that's zip tie's fault. That's not going anywhere. Oh yeah. All right. Scrubby, scrubby. Yes, very good. Oh, except it only goes that deep. Better than nothing, right? Better than nothing. All right, well, something. Whoa. Lots of rusty. Right. Cool. Oh my God. All right, it's not great. I'm hesitant to even call it good, but it's definitely better. There's a lot more exposed metal or, convertible rust down here that is exposed now with a bunch of the stuff out here. There's still quite a bit left, but at a certain point, it's just so much. Maybe some other time I'll take the whole panel out and probably clean it, but this is not that time. So they say spray it, CLR says spray it or apply it, let it sit 2 minutes, and then give it a rinse. I'll give it a second to let it work, but like agitation is definitely in order. Oh yeah, that really does want to come right off. Honestly, the stains come off really well. Stained paint, way cleaner. The rust itself, I don't know, meh. All right, I'm just gonna go for it. We're gonna do half, and then we're gonna do a comparison half to half. Time-lapse time. So while things are still drying out here on the CLR side, we can actually see pretty good. This stuff is pretty rad. Like, let's just look left to right here. This is having been CLR'd, not having been. Admittedly, that rust patch is worse than it ever was over here, but like, just the general staining looks a lot better. I mean, door jamb, I hit this door jamb really lightly, really quickly, and it just looks so much smoother and brighter and better. It kind of makes me want to hit the doors also. So at this point in the day, I'm going to finish scrubbing out this side, let it dry, and then tomorrow I'm going to hit everything that's going to live under the floor mat. I'm going to hit with a rust converter. I'm going to hit with a rust converter to lock in and keep that from ever spreading again, and then hit that with an enamel. What did I got? I got cypress green, which is like almost black. So if it is showing in places, it's not going to be like a pure black. It's going to just sort of pull in some of the green tones you see in other places, be a little bit less noticeable. Under here, which is all under seats, I think I'm going to obviously finish cleaning it. I'm just gonna hit it with a clear. I might even do I might do that like Sweet Patina wipe on. You see a bunch of this between the seats, and you see it when you're standing outside the car. I'm never gonna paint this truck, so I wanna keep it sort of a unified rattiness. And frankly, if I ever wanna change that and really just dial in the interior and paint inside, leave the outside ratty, it's a degreaser to wipe that stuff off. It's really no big deal. I'd rather have to go farther later than wish that I hadn't gone as far as I did. So that's where we're at. I'm not going to show you those things because it's painting, and that's probably boring. And listen, it has nothing to do with boredom. if I'm ever going to get this video out on Saturday, I need to stop filming and start editing. So if I can get all of this done, that would be great. If I get any of that done, that will be awesome. But I think next week we will likely pick up with decorating the dash, getting a fuse box and some wiring into place, and wiring in a new gauge set that I have, which will also mean a little bit of underhood, getting some sensors and centers and stuff like that in. So that's my plan for next week. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you for watching. Please go work on your own junk, and I will see you guys next week. Or hopefully it is much, much cooler. Hopefully. And it's not that different. It's just a little bit less dusty. That looks really good. That looks great over there. Compared to that, there's the real comparison. This side to that side.